Hello and welcome to today's Python tutorial for beginners. In today's tutorial we are going to talk about sorting in Python. That is how we can sort lists, tuples, dictionaries, strings. So there is one way to, actually there are two ways to do this. One is using the sort method and one is using the sorted function. So let's deal with each and I will tell you why you cannot use a sort method for dictionaries or for tuples. Now let's start with sort method. Now we have this list. If I want to sort it out based on alphabet, that is A, B, C, D, I can use a.sort parentheses. Now if I print out A, I should get this sorted out, A, B, C, D. So sort is a method that changes the list in place. That is, it changes the original list. It doesn't return a new list. So if I print A before the operation and after it, you would see this is the original one and this is the new one. So it has changed this one now. And you cannot also print it directly. So if I put this inside A, and let's get rid of this. If I run this, I get none, because this is just an operation on A which has changed A. So it doesn't return anything here. So, and it has a lot of other limitations. For example, if I had a tuple or a tuple, for example, T, and that tuple was like this, like 1, I don't know, 4, 3, if I wanted to sort this out, t.sort, and if I print t here, I get an error that tuple, the object, has no attribute sort. So I cannot use sort on tuples. How about strings? Like I have, I don't know, like Gerard. Does it work on strings? No. String object has no attribute sort. So this can be useful, but it is much better to use a sorted function. So what sorted function does, it takes one argument, let's say A, and it returns a new list. So I can print it out directly now. So if I put this sorted inside our print statement, and if I run this, you see, that is why I can also assign it to a new variable. So let's say f equals this, sorted A, and if I print f, I get this. So sorted returns a new list. And you can also apply it on tuples. So let's just have a tuple. Well, let's say this is a tuple. So this is now a tuple. And if I print f, you see the same thing. But you see it's in the list type. So what it does is that it changes the type of a tuple into a list and then sorts it out. So if I look for the type of f, I should see class list now. You see? It was a tuple, A was a tuple, but then sorted turns this into a list and then sorts it. Alright, now let's have a look at numbers as well. So you know that this works the same way, 1, 3, 5. But can I have, let's say I had, I don't know, like B, J, and then a number 10, and then a capital or uppercase A, or no, let's say H. Do you think this works now? What happens if I want to sort this out? How does Python deal with 10? Can it compare it to J, for example, or on what basis? So let's see what error we get. So print sorted B. So here we say we get this error that the less than operation is not supported between instances of integer and a string. So it cannot compare this with this. It cannot say that 10 is less than j, for example. That is why we need to put it inside quotes, and then it is a string now. What happens if I print this now? Look, I get the number in the beginning, then I get the uppercase H, then I get the lowercase letters. So this is the order of sorting. Numbers come first, then uppercase letters, and then lowercase letters. So if I had another number, let's say here, let's have, I don't know, 20, but yes, 20. Now you see 10, 20. So it puts numbers in one place and then group and then sorts them. Puts all the uppercase in one group and orders them, and then puts the lowercase. Okay, so far so good. Now the reverse order. So I can also reverse this order or this sorting by simply adding an argument, which is reverse argument, and set it to true. So if I set the reverse to true, then it is reversed. So you see my lowercase first, JB instead of BJ. Then I have uppercase, and then 20, 10 instead of 10, 20. I can also use functions here. So I can either use Python built-in functions or user-defined functions. For example, if I use this word key as an argument, and after this I need a function, but without parentheses. For example, len function normally has parentheses, right? And then you put a b in it, and it would give you the length of b, like as 5. But this means that it should go, but I mean without parentheses now, it should go through the list and calculates the length of each. So this would be 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, and then tries to order them based on this number. So if I print this, I get, yeah, B, J, H, 20, 10. So this is the order now, based on the number of characters. Now if I add, I don't know, like this, like 4 characters, it should be the last, you see, because that's 4 characters now. So this is the way it sorts them based on length. I can also, well, let's get rid of this first to show you something. So this is the way it works, right? So you have the one with uppercase in the beginning, well, after numbers. But what if I wanted Python to not consider the uppercase? Let's say we have some names here. For example, John with a lowercase j, and then we have, I don't know, Alex, and then we have, yeah, I can't even remember names now, Joe. So we have these 3 names. One is without, let's actually put this one like this, and let's just call it, I don't know, Kate. Now if I sort this out, you should see this, because this one has an uppercase, it comes in the beginning, right? And then we have Alex because of A and Kate because of K. What if I want Python to ignore that this is an uppercase, and I want them to treat everything as lowercase? So for that, we need to give it another key, a function. And what is the function to turn everything into lowercase? Well, str.lower. This is the Python function without the parentheses. Now it turns everything into lowercase and then tries to sort it out based on that. Now you would see that Alex comes first, and then Joe, and then Kate. So it doesn't consider the uppercase now. It treats them as lowercase. Cool. So we have seen these built-in functions. But let's now use our own let's say user-defined functions here. Now I want to order or sort this list based on the last character. So let's say Jacob. Not based on the first, or not based on the length, but based on the last character. How can I get to the last index in a string? Well, let's define the function first. So def, to define a function, let's just call it fun. And then let's pass also an argument here like x. And what is it going to return? It's going to return the last index of x. That is x minus 1 is the last index. What is x0? That will be the first index. It is Kate. K-A-J. But I want to get to the last index, and the last index is accessed by -1. So now E, X, and B. So how do you think it would order them? B should be first, right? And then E, and then X. So it would be Jacob, Kate, Alex, right? But how do I pass the function? Just like we did with len or with lower, the name of the function, that's enough. Because it passes this into the argument here, and then it gets the last letter. So we don't need any parentheses here. Now let's do this. So we have Jacob because it ends in B, and then Kate, it ends in E, and Alex, it ends in X. There is another way to pass a function, and that is lambda. Lambda is basically a one-liner, right? A one-line anonymous function. Now let's use it here first. Let's give it a name now for now. Let's just call it, I don't know, f. And f equals, so use the word lambda. I have another video tutorial on lambda. And so what is it going to do? So lambda is going to take one parameter x, right? And what is it going to return? It's going to return this. That's it. You don't need any return or def or name or something like that. No, that's it. This is basically the same. Now if I pass in, instead of fun, I pass in f, it should give me the same. You see, the same result. I can also pass the same lambda here after key, actually, like that, and get rid of these. Just like this. It would be the same. So if I run this, you see Jacob, Kate, and Alex. Awesome. I have already talked about tuples, I guess, and also dictionaries, the last thing. So for dictionaries, let's have D as dictionary, and dictionaries are with curly brackets. They have keys and values, right? So key value pairs. Let's say name equals John, age is 29, and I don't know, job is a teacher. So if I want to sort this out, I can do everything that I did, but this will apply to the keys here. So I can print sorted and D. So let's sort out D. You would see age, job, and name. Right? Okay, so that was basically everything that you need to know as a beginner, I guess, in about sorting in Python. Thank you very much for listening and watching.